People, Deluded, I'm back again. Happy Monday, folks. Those of you in the United Kingdom, enjoy your bank holiday wherever you're tuned in around the world. One love. Big up you lot if you're on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button, get in the chat, join the conversation. Now, what has been a long season, what started with Wolves at home and ended with Southampton away, is finally over. We've done the three-peat, second 3 years in a row. Again, different contexts, different situations, different climates, different sentiments, different personnel in terms of the players and actually those above Mikel Arteta. The one constant is we haven't been able to get silverware, people. I mean, we've done the three-peat of finishing second. We can slap that with the Real Madrid and Manchester City victories in the trophy cabinet. And it's been a tough season, man. There's many different themes. I don't think there's one singular reason as to why our season ultimately ended in the way it did. And it's down for the players. Well, it's down for the players, obviously, to review what happened on the pitch. But I'd say for Mikel Arteta, I need you to adapt and evolve the system. I look at the two previous years to the one that's just gone. We've been known as a great attacking side, a great defensive side, and I know some of that still remains, reflected with David Raya getting the Golden Glove for a second consecutive season. But the devil's in the details. We've dropped stupid points from winning positions. We've, squeeze as much juice from the lemon as we can in terms of squad depth and the ability of these players. We were complacent in the summer. You look at our summer business, our best signing's been Mikel Merino. That's been when he's been playing up front. Raheem Sterling's only scored one goal for our club, none in the Premier League. Calafiori, I think, has missed 100 days. So yeah, and then we go back to January. There's many reasons. There's not one singular reason as to why our season ended in the way it did. The points dropped from winning positions, the points dropped from the points dropped from winning positions, the goals conceded from set pieces. We haven't adapted and evolved, and we've had to carry a lot. I maintain this, and I'm ready to die on this sword in 2024-25. I don't blame the players. Obviously, they're the ones playing. They have to take constructive criticism. But out of all the layers of our football club, I think the players have stood up tall, man. I think players have rushed back from injury. Players have just done everything I need them to do. I've seen players I didn't necessarily think were good step up. I've seen certain players have to carry the burden. We've carried a lot of players. And if nothing changes, unfortunately, nothing changes, people. Again, I don't think many of our players are bad. And we've got enough. If we want to be a team that keeps finishing second in semi-finals and respective accounts of ourselves and some good nights, many in the Champions League, summed up with a 2 against Real Madrid. The Champions League run, obviously, up until the end was somewhat perfect. And, we beat City. We've got enough for that. If we want to get to the next level, win trophies, seize the present, because I think we always waffle about the past. We always have anxiety about the future. The past is gone. The future isn't here. The only time to affect that is the present, and we haven't seized the present moment, if I'm completely honest with you. We've got enough if this is what we want to do. But if we want to get over the line, these unanswered questions need to be answered. We need a goal scorer. We need stronger depth. We need someone that could even do half of what Bukayo Saka does on the left-hand side. We need a manager that needs to evolve. In Berto, we trust. I don't know how much he can change in the summer, but we're going to have to see. And I think I speak for many balanced Arsenal fans. You could be as optimistic or as pessimistic as you want. Don't talk, just show me. Because I'm only going to believe we win a trophy when I see us lifting it. I'm only going to think things change when I can see it, people. And I don't think we've done that. I think we've been very complacent. We assumed nothing would go wrong in terms of injuries. Players that were in good form, it would continue. Players that are fallen by the wayside, they'd get back to it. That's not how life or football works. But unfortunately, it is. Well, it is second again. Stress, man. But I don't want to sound like a broken record, bro. But it is what it is. And it's not what it's not, man. Big up the chat, man. Big up DG. What left back and backup centre back would you sign? As I believe we also need depth in both positions. At left back, I like Gyokeres, but he seems like he's going over them sides. Centre half's a tricky one. I'd have to get back to that. He put me on the spot. Centre half. You know what? He's the first that came to mind, but we're not going to spend 50, 60 odd million quid, even though apparently for Howson we was prepared to do such. Injuries are a part of football. It's how you deal with it that matters. Exactly. And we didn't put our best foot forward. We didn't put our best foot forward. We knew that, it's like the summer, it's like we never had a roof to our house. We know that we need to put a roof there because it's going to rain. We didn't do that. We put a little tent, which kept us going for a sec, but when the rain got heavier, essentially, the ceiling collapsed and we got flooded, really. And it's what I feel sorry for the players, man, because if you're a player, yeah, and you buy into the manager and the whole football club of what we're trying to do and all of that kind of stuff, and you're looking at January period where your club is down to its bare bones, it needs an injection, nothing was done. That told me everything I need to know about those that work in executive positions, excluding obviously Berta. It is what it is, man. Arsenal have a live trophy presentation at the moment for the women. Big them up. The players that know what playing for the Arsenal stands for. I disagree with that. I think the men, young and old, as well as the women, do. I don't think anyone could. You can criticize my players, but nobody can sit here and tell me my Arsenal footballers they don't care, they haven't got desire, and they didn't want it. You can criticize their ability, whether they're good enough for this team, but these players have stood up too. Ultimately, they've fallen short, and they're the ones playing. But I've seen Kivior step up. I've seen Mikel Marino, who's had a tough season, step up. I've seen Saka rush back and step up. You know, even Martinelli and Trossard, they're not really doing what needs to be done. I've seen Declan Rice soldier the burden. I cut no excuses for Martin Odegaard, but he hasn't. He's hidden in a sense that he's not doing his fault. He's not playing well, but he hasn't hidden. I feel like my heart bleeds for the players. Again, specifically the players. Anyone in terms of the players. Arteta doesn't bleed as much as you. I think there's some excuses, but I don't think you've controlled the controllables. And again, excluding Berta, those above, you lot are cool with the season. Like those above, like Arteta's bosses and those who own the club, they're cool with the season. I have to assume that you got your Champions League football, you had the semi-final run, the money's coming in. You lot didn't want to win a league title because there's no way you could look at that January period at the very least. At the very least. So yeah, man. Would I sign Mbuemo? Depends. Does he want first team football? Then no, because he won't start over Saka. But if he wants to compete, then in a heartbeat. I mean, if he takes the step up to another club, that's going to be something anyways. Lots of injuries to key players at the same time will impact performance and can't be denied. But why are we getting so many, especially hamstrings? Exactly, the hamstring. I'm no physio, but hamstring injuries. Some of these players, as mad as it is to say, they're owed that. They played a lot of games, not just for club, but for country. You know, we got a World Cup next year. We all know how congested the fixture calendar is at club and country for a lot of these players. They're coming off the back of a season or two of a lot of football for club and country. It's no surprise that I'm sure Declan Rice has had a minor hamstring strain. Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka. I'm sure Martinelli, correct me if I'm wrong, and throw in some other names. We didn't put our best foot forward, man. Anyone will start over Saka ain't that good. I'll take your word for it, man. Even though I think that's cap. If we sign Mbuemo, would you consider trying Saka as a 10? I think he has the intelligence to play through the middle. I definitely think he could do it, but now Saka right wing. Mbuemo, I actually think Mbuemo could play off the left as well as up front. Obviously, you can deputize / rotate in and out for Saka. But I think if it was up to me, we'd sign 3 attackers. We need 2 at a minimum, and the greatest impact from an attacker has to be a striker, man. We can't afford to get the attacking signings wrong or else we're doomed. We can't get a single thing wrong in this summer. I'm not, especially with outgoings, I'm not expecting everyone to go. And unpopular opinion, we might have to keep a couple or 1 or 2 of these players that everybody would sell. And what I mean by that is, and I'm not saying they're good or we should or whatever, but in terms of depth, it's naive if we think we're going to sign 10 players and get rid of 10 and these lot could all leave. I'm just saying there's a possibility, you know, and Nelson might have to just stay and be part of the squad, like just as a body, as Zinchenko the same. I'm exaggerating a bit, but the Lokongas, the Marquinhos is, yeah, I know, I forgot he was at the club. We've got a lot to do, man. We've got a lot to do. Gyokeres Mbuemo, Rodrigo, we win the league. Do you think Arteta's ego is the reason we are not winning anything? He wants to win only with his way. He doesn't change things. He puts his ego over letting players break the system and play. I wouldn't say it's necessarily his ego, even though, yeah, probably it is. It's a double-edged sword because as a manager, you have to be stubborn. You have to be stubborn to your principles. But I'm a hypocrite because I do think he needs to evolve. There's been times where you need to change things. I still think we go into games, yeah. It's like, we do, like, say we're playing on Saturday or Sunday. It's like from Monday to Friday, we've done our homework. This team's going to do that. It's like we've considered everything. But you see, if something happens that we haven't accounted for, 9 times out of 10, we're in issues there, man, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, David, man, whatever you say, my guy, it's too early to be trolling, man. Just stop chatting shit. Are the current players good enough to break the system? I disagree with this Arteta system being the problem. It's in the final third, it's definitely a problem because yeah, obviously we probably score more goals, there's less draws, but can we guarantee that our issues in the attacking third are as simple as you slap a Rodrigo, Nico Williams, whatever you want on that left-hand side and whatever you want up front? He has to. Ultimately, live or die by the manager's system. It's too scripted. And I need us to go, of course, the players maybe you need to do random stuff. The Real Madrid, the 2 free kicks from Declan Rice kind of sums that up, if I'm honest. But nah, 100%. I ain't got no bones with our defensive outlook. I think we need to get back to our high standards. Bit of question marks over centre mid, but I think the final third, man, that's your bread and butter. That's literally what wins games. And it's mad because we've got 100 odd goals, but there is something. Of course, there's been injuries, but this is the first time since a lot of people, big up Inner Circle, even Inner Circle was alive. The last time he wasn't even alive, sorry. I think we got we'll cover it. I got it somewhere. Tab Police look away in advance. I think this is the first season in a long time we ain't had a player that's got double figures. Goals win games. And I'm not saying everything would have been perfect. And clearly, we need to review our season, review the games that went good, and how can we make it great. Obviously, where we've dropped points and see where we can go. But and that would point me towards the 4 defeats we've had. But I think the devil is in the details, and I think the draws is actually how we've drawn them games. Sometimes we just need to put the game beyond reasonable doubt, and then refereeing decisions can be considered. Obviously, look at the Villa game where Villa got robbed yesterday, off topic, at Man United, but where we're 2 goals up and we haven't got it over the line. Like, so madness. If Yamal plays in our way, we win the league. That's why I said the attacking players need to step up. I think there'd even be attacks there. Like, there'd even be attacks there. Yamal on his own ain't going to win us the league. Salah was the difference for Liverpool, but on his own, we never won them the league. I disagree. I think that's quite a simple way of looking at it, but fair play. Arteta should have the imagination to play Arteta in the camera. Arteta getting out of retirement, in the circle. In a few games we expect to dominate. Convinced he'll be way more important than on the wing. I think you're referring to Saka. Odegaard, 20 shots on target all season, and Mbuemo and Chris Wood combined scored 40 goals. I think the team is missing the killer instinct, being ruthless against other teams, and a striker alone won't. That I agree. I think the players have, when you smell blood, you need to go for the kill. It's like a boxing match. There's no point beating up your opponent, blood in his nose, busting his lip. You're in control of things. All it takes is for him to catch you and rock your world, and things change. I don't feel too many times we've killed opponents, especially I think the 2 Brighton games, and obviously I say them because rightly so, referees had a part to play, but we have to control the controllables. I genuinely believe Brighton home and away, we should have been 3-4 up way before these refereeing decisions. Control the controllables. I'm definitely not happy with refs. I ain't got to be honest with you, I don't really care about any other fan bases crying about referees, even Aston Villas, because we were told to sit down and shut up. But dodgy refereeing decisions ain't going anywhere. Let's control the controllables, and that's killing games. And there's an element of how good are you at your worst. If we get to another level, if you could even half them draws, I'm not saying we win the league, but what conversations are we in? And even the PSG game, obviously the second leg, I can't say we weren't in it. Our mentality wasn't there, but I just had this feeling of we're trying, but it's just not enough. Like, it's just not enough. Like, PSG are just being competent and they're up here. No disrespect to them. And we're trying, but they're just a gulf. And even if I go back to, I keep saying last year, I know the season's just finished, but the first year we was back in the Champions League. What did we hear after the fallout against Bayern Munich? We need players with X factor, yada, yada, yada. I'm not saying it's easy, but did we get any? Which takes me back, smash the like button to, if nothing changes, unfortunately, nothing changes. Everything that led to our demise this season are not factors we didn't know last year. That nothing new has come apart here. On the grand scheme of things, enjoy your parade, KJ, man. I see my Liverpool supporting brethren are all over my snap going up there. Leao, Gyokeres, and Zubamendi. Do you really think we're signing Leao, Gyokeres, and Zubamendi, though? Really? If we don't get Gyokeres, what other striker would you sign? At this point, if it's not Gyokeres, I'm going to be really peed off. Gyokeres is my one, just because it goes against the grain. Me personally, I've passed the point of caring about a striker. That's how desperate I am for a forward. I'm not saying that I ain't got other targets or whatever, but like, if I just throw some names, we know we're not getting Isak, but we've been linked with Isak, Gyokeres, Sesko, Hugo TK, Ollie Watkins. I'm at the point, just bring me my striker and we'll criticize and praise and any concerns later. If not Gyokeres, I want Gyokeres because it goes against the grain. I think Arsenal we're in this trap of always thinking about the future. Don't get it twisted. You can't stop future proofing and whatnot, but we're always in this situation about what a player could be in X amount of years rather than what they are now. And I like the Gyokeres one because Bert has come in, and obviously I've never had a conversation with Bert or Arteta, but it feels like a lot of things have changed. Like, in the sense that before Bert, I reckon, and this is just my opinion, Partey goes, Trossard, there's no talk of a new deal. And I don't think and again, what's actually being reported in the rumors and whatnot, and actually what's going on in the real world of football are 2 very different things. But I don't think we're really as aggressive as we might, quote unquote, be for Gyokeres. So it goes against the grain. It's kind of win now mode, if I'm honest. He's 26, turning 27. That's prime ages for a forward. I'm not saying he's going to be a Premier League or Arsenal legend. Jamie Vardy's basically just ended his time at Leicester. How old was Jamie Vardy when he first kicked a Premier League ball? 28 years of age. And there's a lot of years. It just goes against the grain for me. It just tells me there's a bit of an intention because he knows his job now. He's gone through some good and bad moments between his time I think he's been on loan in Germany, at Coventry, been at Swansea, obviously been at Sporting. He's had some good periods, some low periods. He knows, Obviously, he could. I'm sure he can improve. I'm sure he could learn all the other aspects of a modern day striker in this system. But he's what you see is kind of what you get. I won't say Sesko is a black. I don't mind Sesko either. I'm not saying Sesko's a blank canvas. He got 20 odd goals, but that more or less is a project kind of thing. And I know I'm looking at it rather basic and simple. And I know no two seasons are the same. And I guess Sesko wanted to stay in Germany or whatever. But we heard we wanted him last year. And there was concerns about he might not get football over Kai Havertz, which are valid. But then if I look at it rather cynically, if you're a proper number 9, like you know you can score goals, are you really scared of a makeshift midfielder playing up front? Really? Fair play. But yeah, I'd be peed off, but get someone. If anything, I know I shouldn't be jealous here, but you can't help but not be jealous of Liverpool. Again, the only way is, from a domestic point, the only way is down for Liverpool. If they mess about, you can't get, there's no better than first, in it, unless you do the invincible, is yours gold. But Verts is coming in, they got a keeper already, which is a bit of a cheat code because they signed them last year or the year before, but keeper in, I assume that's a long-term Alisson replacement or someone to fight. Frimpong, immediate replacement for Trent, whether he's good or better than Trent or the right option or not. Florian Wirtz, I reckon they sign a centre middle too. We need to make movements now. I wish I had Bert's number. I'm not saying we're going to do a madness in the summer and it's all going to be fine and dandy, but you would imagine, we're trying to make signings happen. But I need to see things through the line. All we hear is Zubimendi's done. We really like Gyokeres is on signing for us. And as much as I might believe or disbelieve that, until man are holding shirts, I grew up watching Omri and Bergkamp and this and that. I can't assume you're here. So we'll have to see, man. Our season has been rinse and repeat, DG. All right, same old mistakes season after season. Kills me to say it, but unfortunately, that's been the thing. There's been some good moments, keyword moments, and I more mean games, but the large part of it is just, all the other isms and schisms in between the season. It is what it is. All that really matters is where you start and where you finish. And this season's just summed up where a mixed bag, because as much as I'm vexed about stuff and I'm not even looking at it to be positive or negative, this is where we're at. This is what we're good at. This is what we need to improve. This is what other teams have done to get over the line. This is the issues we have not learned from year in, year out. The only way to get to where we need to get to is to stop doing the same kind of things. But yeah, it is kind of rinse and repeat. It's a mixed bag, man. You got to 2 semi-finals, Premier League, let's be honest. And that's the true mark of a team. Like, I know Spurs, they've won Europa League, they're in the champs. It's great, it is what it is. But away from all the emotional and the banter stuff, that's a true reflection of your team. United are a mess at the moment. They're 16th, 17th. We are second. And we've been blitzed by Liverpool. The points speak for itself. The amount of times we shot ourselves in the foot. You can't even just waffle about injuries, because when everybody was fit or we didn't have the injury crisis we quote unquote did, we were probably on average 7, 8, 9 points behind Liverpool. Didn't spend too many days at the top. Didn't close the gap at any real point. The rare times Liverpool dropped points this season, didn't close the gap. Yeah, you can hide behind the widespread statistics of, we got the same amount of losses as Liverpool, but we've got significantly more draws. We've dropped significantly more points from winning positions. And I think it's been a mixture of things. I actually feel more the defeats, some of our defeats, or like definitely Bournemouth away, definitely Newcastle, they've come where our players have just looked out of steam, which is why I have sympathy with the players. Like, they needed to be new life. If nothing changes, man. But it is a rinse and repeat thing. And it's a mixed bag, because I don't think we're as good as some people make out. We're definitely not as bad, But if we're not going to get over the line until we start doing what we need to do, we've just kicked a problem up the curb. And the more you kick problems up the curb, the bigger it gets. It's like getting a letter from HMRC or something like that, or an important letter about something you need to deal with. And you're just putting it, every time you get a letter, you're just putting it in the drawer. You're not dealing with it. And then at some point, you might get a knock from the bailiffs. That's what it feels like, man. And I even feel sorry for Bert, or I don't, because you believe that you can do whatever you believe you can do, or you wouldn't have taken the job. But we know how this thing goes. If it's an underwhelming summer, people are going to say, Berto sold dreams. We're never first once this season. Even when everyone was fit, we was crying about breaking down low blocks. We need depth. We need quality. We need our manager to evolve and keep his principles, but find different ways of playing. And for me, my thing with Arteta is, I know people don't like it, but you want to be mad defensive, you want to micromanage, do all of that, because that's got us to this point. I'm on that. But you see, when that's not working, show me that there's another gear to this. Show me, because we keep doing the same things and it's predictable. How many times, did we see, there was times where we couldn't, but we didn't see rotation that much. We didn't see widespread changes when the time called for it. We've all got a running joke as Arsenal fans. We weren't really expecting to see subs, and anything beyond up until at least the 85th minute. There's so much that we need to exhaust internally. Signings are going to make the difference. But anybody that just thinks signings and we're gone is I think it's very naive. Unfortunately, we're carrying too many players. I don't have a bad word to say about these players, but there's a lot of players in that squad that are good if they're on the peripheral things. Why are we making them squad players? They're good if they're squad players. Why are we making them regulars? And they will have good and bad moments throughout a season, but ultimately won't get over the line. It's We need to improve that attack. There's no way around it. You need that talismanic number 9 or someone that we believe in. You need another option on the left-hand side. Midfield needs some injection. Probably need some defensive bodies as well. So, is what it is. Sesko scored 13 goals this season. Did he? Thought he scored 21. Where Gyokeres scored 54. It's a no-brainer which striker we should sign. We've never been first spot the whole season. Exactly. But then that tells you everything, man. It's very simple to just say, oh, refereeing decisions and this and that. And if this never happened, well, it fucking did, innit? The injuries happened. That happened. Let's deal with that. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Sesko would be a star, 100%, not a sub. Having Havertz rotating with Sesko is fine. Sesko starts the majority, though. Don't bringing in no striker that's not a starter. That's what I would say. Don't bring a striker that's not a starter. And I'm all for that. You want to have the option of Marino up front, Kai Havertz in the mix across a course of a season when you've got 2 games a week, 3 games in 10 days, where the starters might not even be having a great game and someone has to come off the bench and nick it. I'm on that, but that can't be the thing. That's too romantic now. It's too romantic. You can believe that, but I'm telling you, Arteta wants Havertz as first choice. Sesko will have to learn the system. No way he benches Havertz. If so, Havertz value drops to 0. I mean, Arteta does love him, but boy, if nothing changes, bro. You're gonna have to be cruel to be kind, but like, unless we wake up and Kai Havertz becomes a 20+ goal striker, bro, it's a fallacy, absolute fallacy. And this summer, Arteta needs to be given, because at the end of the day, I can talk about if the guy's good or not, if I believe in him, etc. He's staying in it at least until now. Just signed a new deal. He needs to be given what he needs, not what he wants. No more of this Marino, Kai Havertz, inverted stuff. You need it. We need to go back to basics. You need a striker who can score goals. You need a winger who can take people on. You need a centre mid. Either that's an 8 who gives you what you're doing with Rice, or you get a 6 that can tie in well with Rice. And again, sometimes when you've got players that are talismanic figures or marked men, in many ways that can help you. Anyone that plays Liverpool, obviously Liverpool got bare threats. Arne Slot got his own ethos, but you're playing. There's other hitmen, but you're playing against Salah. You might have to change 1-2 things that you want to do. It's like with Saka. How much game plans from rivals or opposition, people, are built around like, you know what? I need you lot behind the ball at all times. We need to double up against Saka. That's cool. Saka's shown for years now that despite all of that, he can score goals. But the players that might not be marked men in our team, can they go on under the radar? They might be marking Saka. We might win 2-0. Saka never scored. They're marking Saka 3-4, got 3-4 man next to him. Random Joe Blogs on the left-hand side. They don't rate him as much. They've not paid attention to what he's on. He scored. We need to find a base level, because when we're good, we're really good. When we're bad, we're really bad. And a lot of the times, whether we win, lose, or draw, I genuinely think this season we've been a bit indifferent. When we win, nobody really cares. We've got the 3 points, keep it moving. As I said, kicking a can down the road. It's only when things really go downhill that people really want to look at stuff, man. Arteta's narrative of finding internal solutions has flopped. Clearly, a proper striker is needed. Bro, forget all of that. Keep finding your internal solutions. But I'll get me some external solutions, man. I'm not sure, man. Imagine, look, if it was up to me, in an ideal world, which is not an ideal world, then I know it's easy for me to say as an armchair expert. I would love 2 strikers in the left wing. I want my, your Gyokeres, your number 2, your Hugo Ekitike, Sesko, whatever. You got your left winger, Martinelli, Trossard, you lot are about. Saka, you're about. Marino and Kai Havertz, there's game time for you in this role. We need that attacking. It's a bit weird because you could look at our defenders and say there's question marks, but as an Arsenal fan, at 30 years of age, to have more belief in my defense than my attack, it's a bit of a humbling experience, man. Imagine looking at Gyokeres and Sesko stats and trying to convince that there is a discussion to be made which one to take. I'm having Gyokeres, but you see, if Gyokeres says, actually, I want to go, I'm just throwing random names, Chelsea or PSG, I want to stay at Sporting, make sure an next striker comes in, man. Sesko is a project. He can rotate with Havertz. Do we want another project? I don't know, man. And I'm not really on this rotation thing. Of course, striker's going to be needed to rotate, but I don't want to go into the season needing to rotate. Of course, my man looks a bit knackered, take him off, or we need to rest your legs, you can get a start. I don't want to be bringing in a striker, just factoring out, like, essentially it's both of you for that number one spot. And I know the sample size is small, and I've backed Kai Havertz up front because I think people are quite harsh, but Marino showed me something in it. Maybe it's reactionary bias and maybe not in Arteta's mind, but, you know, big boy striker, Marino would be my second option if it gets to that, and then Kai. But I do miss the option of going long with Kai, man. I mean, who in Arsenal is a contender for the Golden Boot? When we have someone in that conversation, then we're competing. Tell them again, man. Tell them again. Would you take Garnacho or Maino? Word is both are done at United. Not Garnacho. I actually like Garnacho, but imagine having Garnacho and Martinelli in the squad and on the pitch at the same time. We'll pull our hair out. I'm more on taking Kobe Maino. Surely United don't. I think Garnacho's gone in it. He's burnt any bridge that he could have crossed over. He's burnt it. He's gone. I think technically being an academy prospect, you know, he's going to count as fully FFP. Was he not close to going to Chelsea and Napoli and all those things? Maino, more than welcome. More than welcome. More than welcome at this football club. But it's not going to happen, is it? Big up yourself, Manny, man. Arsenal don't play attractive football no more, and we're not winning trophies. I think I'm starting to have a problem with that now. At least with Wenger, it was always sexy football and top four. The thing is with the sexy football thing, if you're not going to play glamorous football, you have to win, which is issues. Doesn't help when Arsenal fans sing super Mikel Arteta. When is this fan base going to realise enough is enough? Arteta ain't got a leg to stand on if people want him out. I disagree. I think, you know what, because for me, I can have my criticisms over the manager or over Kroenke, whatever. But you see, when we step on that field, we're a family, everyone's together. I think where the issue comes from is a lot of people in our fan base are not honest. I think, and focusing on what you're saying, like Arteta sexuals, like they're more in love with Arteta than the football club. But I've been very passionate about that. I've spoken on that at length. It's honestly, I'm boring. Drop Havertz to a 10 with Odegaard and get both Sesko and Gyokeres. That would be a mega statement. Oh, I mean, Kai could do everything off the ball, I guess Mikel Arteta wants, but I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Marino, Kai, I hear it, BG. Sesko is 6'5", which makes me think that's the kind of physical attributes Arteta goes for. He also was in a tougher league than Gyokeres. Stats, statistics need context. Buy Sesko with Gyokeres, business opportunity. I mean, I do. Would you get both of them in it, man? DG, I beg, take Nacho. Nah, man, because even Nacho, bro, I'm not being funny. Like, if I was Man United or Ruben Amorim, I'm not even saying Garnacho's wrong, but there's a million problems at the club, many different aspects. And you got this Garnacho. What have you done in the game? Yeah, you've been called up by your country, all these things, but who are you? And your brother chatting shit. Fuck off, mate. Like, go. Like, it's one like unnecessary headache. There's too many headaches already. And that's the problem. Like, United reminds me of where Arsenal were at a long time ago. We're still in issues, but you got players that don't realize the stature of the club that they're playing for, the opportunity that they have. They think they're better than they are, and it's a toxic environment. You know, you look at where Man United are at. That was us kind of around the period Arteta walked in. You don't get there overnight. That doesn't happen in a season. That happens in seasons with bad decisions across the whole football club. It's a poison that needs to be rooted out, man. If I'm honest, I find it mad that people want Arteta out. He definitely has pressure on him to deliver this next season, but he's restored us as a top team. All that's missing is silverware. By that rhetoric, Charlie, I think that's fair. Like I said, I think I personally think with Mikel Arteta, for the balanced fans that can, like you're kind of alluding to, of you've helped us, you did this and that, but we're trying to get over the line and you keep missing out. Yeah, you can talk about recruitment and all these kind of stuff, but ultimately the nature of the business, it falls to the manager. I think it's a fair question. I haven't seen anything from Mikel Arteta for me to understand. Not for the balanced fans that can back up what they're saying, not people that are just foaming at the mouth, Arteta out, not people that are just, quite frankly, just sucking Arteta's dick, if I'm honest with you. The balanced fans, if they want him out, I think there's certain things you can't defend. I think there's logic. And for people that are saying persist, etc., I can hear it. Me personally, everyone's on borrowed time. Like, if Arteta left tomorrow, I'm not crying, because I do think there's sackable offences. And I think the only question about Mikel Arteta is getting over the line. Big up you for restoring us, but it's getting over the line time now, essentially. In the same way that you look at the Teenys, the Ramsdales, the Zinchenko's, the Jesus, different factors, of course, Martinelli even. These men helped us at a point get into a period, but life, like football, it's always evolving. The manager's done that with players. maybe that has to be the gaffer. If Arteta left tomorrow, he could leave with his head held high. You've taken a fucking big job in Arsenal. You've done a lot. You've shown conviction. You put your bullocks on the table. You've got a lot wrong, but you've also got a lot right. You fronted to the music, but the thing is getting over the line. I said it this year. I said it last year. Said it this year, and no doubt going into next season. Like every year you don't get over the line, it's getting bigger and bigger. You need to win something. Now, of course, you win an FA Cup, you win a League Cup. We all know how the rhetoric's going to be. It's still not a major trophy, yada, yada, yada. But we need to start creating that. Because honestly, I think for the fans and I think for the players, maybe even directly Arteta, but I don't extend that to him. If we were living in a bubble and believing our own hype and we're here now and whatnot, the bubble has to have popped. For me, I'm vexed with people above Mikel Arteta because January, what's going on there? Sympathy with the players. Arteta, you ain't involved. And I like what Arteta is doing. I like Arteta as a manager. I like him. Just forget Arsenal for a sec. I like him. The problem is I like my club a lot more. I haven't seen enough for people to be foaming at the mouth for the guy to be out. Again, logical fans. We're not talking about you. I haven't seen enough. I'm not saying you're doing this, Charlie, but I haven't seen enough why people just going to die for Mikel Arteta, if I'm honest with you. Like, it does. There is sex. Let's be honest. There's many different subsections of our fan base. There's courageous losers. There's Arteta sexuals. There's some people that really don't care about high standards. They don't want to get over the line. They're cool with just singing North London forever and finding excuses where there's none, because it's easy to do that. It's difficult, especially in football, for all clubs and all fans where emotions are heightened to really stress test your team. People think they got this misconception of me that I want to sit here and talk about things that I don't like about the club, etc. What's the point in talking about what we're good at? Take the good and make it great. It's the areas we're failing. If I was still in school and I don't know, I'm sick at science and sick at maths, obviously I'm still gonna revise and whatever, but there's no point putting over attention on that. I'm already good at that. If I'm struggling in English, that's where I need to put my eggs in. And unfortunately, it's another year where for me, it's take nothing away from Liverpool or City the years before. I feel we've shot ourselves in the foot. We can either be our best friends or our worst enemies. We shot ourselves in the foot at time and time again. And I'm not gonna lie, two people are investing too much. This is why they need to fix up. We love this club. Too much emotional investment is being put in. Fans are waking up all around the world at stupid o'clock. Some are even flying from wherever they are to come and watch this game. People are, season ticket holders and mad money for TV subscriptions. The fans deserve a bit more than this, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, for the grand scheme of things, we'll win games, we'll go on runs, we'll do things in against the top six. I'm not going to say I could predict Madrid or beating City 5-1, but we'll get those kind of games. But in the grand scheme of things, what's going on? Trophies are not everything, but that's been the conversation. And again, if anyone can disagree with that, that's great. But what has the manager said in the last year? I want to win silverware, major honors, this, that, and the other. What has the Kroenke said? What has the player said? So that tells me that's the remit. And anyone that thinks I'm being harsh or Charlie's being harsh or anything, life is a lot harsher. What's harsher than what we've seen in the last 2 years for these players? And if you're honest, do you not think Mikel Arteta is going to be a lot harsher on himself and his players? It is what it is, man. And it's not what it's not. Let's get the likes to 100 people. Road to 70k. Smash the like, people. It's this guy Michael. Big up yourself. Ahmed, I ain't seen you for years, man. Might have to lose the moderation status. No, I'm joking. All I ask for as a fan is my team continues to compete. Trophies are not a guarantee as much as I want them. I hear that, but we're not putting our best foot forward. Let's be real, man. Let's be real. It's courageous against City. I'm against Madrid. But look at what we're going in there with. Remove the emotion. And I'm not dissing Kivior because he weren't to blame, or Marino, but come on, bro. We're bringing a blunt knife to a gunfight. Come on. FA Cup shooting ourselves in the foot. Not got a striker that could put the ball in the back of the net. We've been waffling about the Premier League at the beginning. We've competed. But where does it go now? That is our remit. We need to get over the line. I want to see us evolve. We're not evolving. We're not doing everything we need to do. So if we just want to be a team that competes and semis and sniffs at success and does the what ifs and coulda, woulda, shoulda and dreams about ideal worlds, we've got enough. Everybody at the club, keep doing what you're doing. But you see, if you want to finally end this Premier League trophy drought, if you want to start picking up FA Cups, and to be honest, us in United, we've won the most. We need to create a bit of a distance there. You want to win a League Cup, which ironically is not a dream of mine, but I haven't seen the dream, which honestly I think I might die before I see it, of winning the champs. There's a lot more to give. There's a lot more to give, and there has to be a lot more to give, man. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're a fucking big club. We've got some very good players. There's a good base here. That no one can convince me there's not. There's a good base here. Good base here. The mentality is there. It's just a little push now. No one can rest on their laurels, and it's got to be deflating for these players. They're the ones playing, of course, but it's them that first year 2022, 23. Rah, no one had us in a league fight. Saliba's gone down. We were top of the league for 200 days. What happened last year? Bloody superb. The run in the second half of the year, we're flirting with winning the Premier League, so much so that there's probably replica Premier Leagues. I don't even remember if City were at home or away the season before last year, because obviously last season just ended yesterday. But flirting with that. Then this year, guard of honor, courageous against Madrid, not getting over the line. It can't be nice, bro. It can't be nice, because these are the ones. These group of players, the majority of them. Right now, we're getting bantered about not winning trophies, but when you cut the bullshit and away from the pub chat and the one-upsmanship, you know this team is a good team. I'm not saying we're amazing. We're a good team. We're a difficult day at the office. We are regardless, you know how the world of football speaks about us. We went from what, you look at the Brentford. Remember when we lost to Brentford, when Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, when it weren't cool to rate us, where no one could see what's going on. Majority of you have gone through that to this. We've gone so far. We are closer to achieving what we want to achieve than we were however many years ago. And now, man, want to give up. Now we're taking our foot off the gas. Now we're fucking about. Fair enough. If nothing changes, man. Nothing changes. Is where it is, man. For me, there's loads missing other than silverware right across the board. I hear it. I hate Harry Kane, but he's not in the same stratosphere of the other two. What do you mean? Let's not consider to sign in only one striker. We should get more than one to compensate injuries. Over the line was 2 years ago, bruv. Sorry, that's my opinions. Why is he still here? And I don't think, if people want Arteta gone, I don't think that's wrong. I think that nobody can tell me there's enough. Like, you could say Arteta's position should be indispensable. I could understand if Wenger was still here for all of his failings, if people had that because of what he's done. If Jurgen Klopp was stinking up the gaff and he was at Liverpool, I could understand that. I can't imagine, any City fan that wants Pep gone. Pep, Arteta, I got time for you, but yeah, Pep, if you want to pattern up, come over here. I could understand, even if that was a thing, I could understand it. I can't see what Arteta has to make it indispensable. You ain't got credit in the bank. Don't get it twisted. Hail up for taking the job, fixing us up, big you up for that. You not got over the line. You've not. You won the FA Cup. Big up you. You went down in history with that. Nothing else beyond that. And I might be wrong and what do they call it? Recency biased and all of that kind of stuff. But I look for the last 3 years, mainly the last two, 2020, last season and the season that's just gone. I'm lying a bit with 2022, 23. I might be wrong here, but when you look at this Emirates period, you look at some of the teams that have won, not that they've won many, but the teams that won the FA Cups, them and they are going down in folklore. When you look at them player for player and the collective bunch of players, we've probably in the last however many years since this has been a thing, had the best squad we could have. But if football ends tomorrow, no one ain't remembering these youths. No one ain't remembering them. The ones that were here when we won the FA Cup last time, all right, cool, you're going to be remembered. No, I don't remember them. There was a time we would have bit your arm off for one of Timber, Magalhaes, Ben White, Saliba, young Lewis Skelly, all of these guys. And look at, they're all there now. We've had many a shit goalkeeper at this football club. David Raya might not be perfect, but he's a bloody good one. We died for someone of a talismanic figure like Declan Rice. Lovely to see him be a captain. 100 million guy, and he's here now. We're doing all of this to start fucking about now. When we're closer than where we started. It's a further journey going back and reverting back to type than it is getting over the line. We're so close, but yet we're so close, we're so far. We shot ourselves in the foot, man. It would be, that's a graphic example, Charlie. But at some point, if nothing changes, you're going to have to sack the gaffer or try something. Sacking Arteta now would be throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We're in a strong place. Liverpool had a lucky season with injuries. City are a shambles. This season is coming is do or die, though. It is coming, do or die. I disagree. I don't think Liverpool had a lucky season. But if they did, you make your own luck, really and truly. They've got proven winners already. I don't know if Liverpool's onslaught or their players sat out there thinking about winning a Premier League, but it goes back to what I said in that I feel like we're always building for the future, to be fighting for Prems. We never seized the current moment. They seized it. I don't want to praise them not down the road, and the fact that they finished 17th, they can't rest on their laurels. They were presented an opportunity to win something. They did it. We never seize things. If they're out of all the competitions, I'm vexed about the Premier League because, it's a longer period and there's been some highs and lows or whatever. But Newcastle, The 2 games in the League Cup, Man United, we shoot ourselves in the foot. Them games, they're almost a microcosm of how our season's gone. And at some point, we're going to have to do that. Because at some point, we're going to have to consider that, doing the same thing with the same manager isn't working. And I know where we lack stability as a football club, and I'm not saying we need to become a sacking club, but at some point, we're going to have to try something. Clearly, Arteta needs help. Arteta needs to lock himself in a room, evolve himself, pat himself on the back for what he's done good, because we have stood up to adversity. But also, you need to reinvent yourself. You need to take this up the levels. You need to become a tiny bit more unpredictable. And if you can't do that, you have to go, bro. It's as simple as that. There's so much that Arteta is doing well, but there's so much he's not. There's an inability to pivot. He needs to find that balance now with what he wants from a collective base of the players, with maybe, allowing a couple more individuals to shine. It's not the same, but you look at Onslaught. I'm sure if he had his own way, Salah's bloody going to defend as much as that. But we all saw the interview, Salah saying, listen, Gaffer, let me stay over them sides and I can do this. Is what it is, man. Always focused on tomorrow. Tomorrow's not promised, man. There's no past. There's no future. Right now, it's the present. So I hope Berta can do something, man, because like Arteta clearly, in a good way, you're out of your depth. You're having to do too much. We're trying to make you do the Wenger stuff, and you ain't got Wenger credit in the bank. You didn't go to Japan. You didn't do your thing at Monaco. You weren't one of them. Berta needs to be the David Dean to the Arsene Wenger. And listen, them two are not in the same bracket as those 2 legendary figures. Almost brought a tear to my eye doing the watch along, actually, for Arsenal's women against Barcelona, seeing David Dean, man. It just takes me back to the good days of my 30 years. What Edu did last summer was an absolute disgrace. He took ages to close every deal. That's really cost us this season. I mean, we went over the Athletic article where they spoke about that. And I remember talking about at the time, Edu fucked up, Arteta fucked up, Kroenke fucked, everybody fucked up. And we don't know what's going on. And even with Edu, if it weren't down to Edu, we wouldn't have got Neto in the summer because we messed up out. This is where I'm looking at Burton now. We need an experienced head now. Oh, man, DG, this isn't the time for signing such a Sesko. We need to go for the best attainable players that can push the current starters, but also step in and produce the goods when others are out. I hear you, Graham. But that's why Gyokeres is my first target. But if Gyokeres says, I don't fancy Arsenal, you're going to have to grab Sesko or something else. I don't want to, I'm not saying you're saying this, but I don't want to hear we tried, because the we tried thing and market opportunity and there's no players available. We've seen how, sorry, people, let me open my window, but we've seen it's getting hot, it's getting passionate and steamy. We've seen how that shit pans out, man. We've been seeing how that is boring now. We've seen how that thing there pans out. If nothing changes, man. So I hope to God these that are patterned. Because again, Arteta must know something. I mean, I don't know, but he's talking very bullish, like very bullish in relation to the summer, like incredibly bullish. I'm excited, this, that, and the third. I hope you are. I hope you know something we don't. I hope you've got that. Remember Wenger when we signed Ozil? I'm sure we played a game before we signed Ozil. He had that cheeky little grin on his face, and obviously he knew the mad thing was happening. Cool, but make sure, because I think my channel is for the thinking footballers, in it, like thinking, no, not the footballers, fans. If any fan question, like let's just say there was a more pessimistic fan that didn't believe in Arteta, why are we signing a guy with no CV? Obviously, when it was dark, wanted him gone. At a point, he started patterning up. They said, all right, cool, I've been critical of you. You've been doing your thing. We're talking about winning trophies. We've been flirting now. If they came into the season believing, this is now the time, and we've seen how it played out, I don't think it's wrong for them to say, listen, Arteta, I don't really believe in you. I'm disillusioned with the club right now. I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen enough to just sit here and like everything shit, burn everything to the ground. I haven't seen enough to just back everything blindlessly. I'm not on it. But you are right to go back to what you're saying, Graham. Big up you lot, man. I thought the season being done, you lot would have effed off and left me alone, man. Like, which would have been sad. Smash the like button. But nice to see you all here, man. We're going to get into everything in a minute, but without you lot are the heartbeat. And I don't know how many of you were part of my watch along yesterday, but again, thank you for your support and the highs and lows that we've been through. Even if you're not, like a couple of you, I see you're not even Arsenal fans, so I appreciate you lot. If Arteta wants to put his full trust in Havertz as a 9, get us 2 goal-scoring wingers and a goal-scoring 8, and Jesus can play second fiddle to Havertz. I don't really want that, but that's the only way I would allow the football club. If you like, you're trying that Liverpool stuff where you've got your Mane and Salah on either flank. You got your, Kai Havertz and Marino are nowhere near Firmino, but you get the point in it. I allow them, but where is that? I don't really believe in the left wing options, if I'm honest with you. Like, of course, I would love Rodrigo, but for obvious reasons, we can't count our chickens for they hatch. I'm a big fan of Nico Williams. I don't know if you're gonna be lit from the start. Who else is there? Every now and again we're linked with a Lookman and all of these guys. I'm having them, but I'm not. The left wing options beyond like the first two names, Liao, I like him, but I think people gas it too much. I'm not really inspired by them. It's not down to me to be inspired. I'm not sure if Liverpool fans were inspired when they signed Mohamed Salah, but yeah, and that's even that. There's players everywhere. You look at what Liverpool did. Half of their players that they signed, they weren't sexy at the time. Obviously, if Salah did everything he's done at Liverpool to this point, yeah, forget winning trophies, just being a good player, and Liverpool bought Salah from somewhere else, of course they're going to gas it. But I can't imagine there was too many shirts sold when Salah first walked in, or Mane first walked in, or Firmino, or Ronaldo, or Robertson, or this one, or that one. But when you buy decent players, suddenly you look around, oh my God, these guys are good. Not all of our signings have been sexy. Of course, Declan Rice, 105 million. We knew what we was getting. But to be fair, we did it because who knew about those free kicks and whatnot. Saliba had potential, looked like it's going by the wayside. We were smart with Magalhaes. Look at the benefits now. And that's the saddest thing. Even I'm gonna we're now in reflective mode of the season, so it's now time to test my editing skills and whatnot. But it's a bit mad, yeah, in that we finished 2 points off City last year, right? And we wanted to get over the line. When you deep it, like if you look at the players who were here in 2023-24, that the season we missed out, right, to this season, well, the season going into the season that's just done. Ironically, the best new additions have been the ones that were here all the time. Like Wanyeri and Miles Lewis-Kelly, like we didn't buy them. They came through the academy. Calafiori, I got time for Calafiori, but you ain't done nothing this season, really. Yeah, he scored against City and you had a good game against PSG in the league phase, but you've been injured for 100 days. Marino, your best football's come up front, pick him up. The less said about Raheem Sterling, the better. Neto, it is what it is. It's dark. The last 10 years of Wenger, I couldn't even dream about the league or Champions League. Arteta is delivering for 3 seasons now. You lot are greedy. Trophies will come at some point. Gee. I understand if we weren't razor close to being in the chance final, there was progress this year despite the failure to invest in January. Is that Arteta's fault? My point is everybody's fault. I'm not here for this absolving Mikel Arteta. I'm not here to blame Mikel Arteta for everything. But what I won't accept, I'm more speaking for the comment before Charlie's. What I won't accept is we're doing this whole Arteta has no blame, because had we have been in a Champions League final, had we have won something with everything, he'd be the first person. There'd be posters, there'd be everything. And at the same time, again, I've said I'm critical of I don't know how many times, but I have to keep saying January told me everything I need to know about those above Mikel Arteta. I'm just so everybody's crystal clear. But at the end of the day, you clearly believe you can do what needs to be done at Arsenal. You wouldn't have taken the job, you wouldn't have signed a new deal. If you don't believe you can do it, then you have to walk. What are we doing here? And cool, we can blame the Cronkies and whatever. Have we exhausted everything from a tactical front? Nobody can sit here and just blame the Cronkies. Nobody can sit here and just blame Arteta and his coaching staff. Nobody can just sit here and blame the players. Everyone's in this together. We either rise together or fall together. But what we can do is maybe you need to do this, you need to do that, this, that, and the other. This is where I think it gets a bit cloudy, really. Trophies have to come at some point, and they have to come now. They have to come now. Look at this guy. Here comes Marcel. Damn, I think I came into the wrong section of the club. This is the trophy dodger section. No gal, no VPS in here, man. It's dark. You man are stopping over there. Oh, Marcel, you're a brick, mate. Talk about kicking a man while they're down. It's calm, though. It's calm, man. All I would say to rival fans, yeah, and you're probably laughing about next season and this, you lot better pray to God Arsenal never win that insignificant, especially the champs, because I tried a good way of not showing it, but see when we beat Real Madrid, you see the second leg where we went at the Bernabeu, I started to dream, man. I started to dream. I even was dreaming a bit in the second leg of the PSG game. I was thinking, yo, you know what? There might be a comeback. In the first 20 minutes, I thought, oh, you know what? Declan Rice went close. We might do this. 90 minutes away from a champs final. And now I must admit, man, I don't think I'll see us win the champs, man. You lot know me. That's the one I want. Here's what it is, man. Big reason I'm Arteta out. It feels like he's not improving as a manager/coach. Same issues, lack of problem solving. Always talk about the game being decided on moments, but loves Havertz. But I can't blame Arteta for this season. 6 red cards, lots of injuries. I don't know if he was the reason we didn't sign anyone, bro. You can. Everyone can get blame. I'm not on that, bro. I'm not on that. Everybody gets blamed, even with them red cards. Of course, red cards have changed the game and whatnot. But you look at Wolves, we managed to win. And again, you lot heard me at the start of this. I said the Brighton games marred by refereeing decisions. Don't, whether it's a pen or not, I'm not here for. In the second game at Brighton's place at the Emirates, I was there. Yes, it made a decision. Even when we went down to 10 men because of the silly second yellow for Gyokeres, we could have won the game. Control the controllables. What rating would you give Arteta for the season? I'll give our season a 3 as a whole, and I extend that to Arteta. Like, I know you're a good coach. I've said this before. I don't think do you know what the most ironic thing is? Yeah, and the most ironic thing on YouTube, I'd say, is every day I'm called something else. 1 minute I'm an Arteta sexual, then I hate Arteta and whatnot. I actually don't think there's a person on YouTube who rates Mikel Arteta as a manager what you could be more than me. The problem is I'm not going to suck your dick and make excuses. And if I rate you and think you got high standards, I'm going to hold you accountable for them. In the same way I keep saying we all agree Saka's a bad boy player, or Salah or whatever. If they score 10 games in a row, you're going to hold them up. If they stink up the gaff for 10 games, you're going to hold them accountable. I think it's more so the overly positive Arsenal fans, yeah. And we know football is agenda driven, it's very black and white, it's very rage baity and whatnot. But you want to sit at tables and you don't want to be held accountable. You can't gas up the team and the manager and with this, that, and the other, and then we win. When we lose, think of mediocre excuses. The injuries, nobody wants people to get injured. Everybody's got to take accountability for it. Obviously, nobody's going to put a player out there if they don't feel they're fit. The physios are doing their job and whatever. But to us as kind of ignorant football fans, we knew we had a small squad, and you could see that. We made the point earlier about, the going into this season, the 2 mad seasons in terms of game time is quite predictable with the hamstring injuries. Maybe the players, because I do think one thing, I've said this before, one thing that annoys me is when people say footballers don't care. They do. Maybe the footballers, I think this is why I rate the players, because I think they all wanted to help. Too much man have rushed back from injuries. We're going to go over it, but even Calafiori's stuff, when the physios, when they're doing all their rehab and the physios are asking you, do you feel good? I think the players know 99.9% in my head I feel good, but there's that other minuscule percentage where I know I'm carrying something. So maybe there's something there. No 2 seasons are alike, but we still had injuries last season, but everyone was fit last year. People have dropped like flies this year. Physios, there's something for you to review there. Yeah, there's red cards. PGMOL ain't going anywhere. Is there anything isolated in those 90-minute games where we're bitching about, where we could have won the games isolated away from that? I genuinely believe such. I fuck the rest for the City away game, though. Come on, bro. And I agree. January, I think it's on the board. The summer, I think everybody's fucked up. January, those above Mikel Arteta. And this is why everybody needs to hold smoke, bro. So for Arteta personally, I'll give you a 3 or a 4, bro. I think, you got us second, 2 semi-finals. You showed me adversity. But, bro, I think we've regressed. Based on how much I rate you, I don't feel there's anything standout-ish this season. I don't think you've learned. I don't think you've evolved tactically. I don't think I've seen your in-game management on a consistent basis improve to the way it can. You've kept the same good stuff you had previously. Fair play. I think it's a 3 or a 4. And a club as a whole as a season, 3 or 4. There's no silverware. We all know what was said at the Emirates last year. Did we get closer? No. Players, you lot obviously play. I give you a lot of 5. Because you lot are the ones playing. You lot have effed up. But I, if anything, the owners, the people below the owners, Mikel Arteta, the players, my heart bleeds for the players. You lot deserve more, bro. You fucking deserve more. We deserve more. Even the people I'm vexed with deserve more. Discipline hurts. We've been undisciplined, bro. Come on, some people want to change with Spurs this moment. Unfortunately, at this point, I want to be in the big boy league, bro. You want to sit at the big boy table, you have to hold big boy smoke, bro. And again, no 2 seasons are alike. But what is one thing people said? All right, cool. We could have won the league in 2022-23. We could have won it in 23-24, but juggernaut City team, whatever in it, fair enough. If City ever fall off, we'll be there. Did we move like that in the summer? Like, if City ever fall off, because again, it's all ifs and buts. But what could we be talking about had we have done everything we needed to do with City falling off? I personally think City are going to win the league not next year. I think it's them and Liverpool competing. We need to be up there, though. What is the point of a top club competing in tournaments if not win? There's a reason why at the end of every season there's teams lifting trophies. I think the players deserve it, man. My Killy DG, rise up your trophy, you mug, put your medals on the table. Are you forgetting that we're champions of Europe as well? The season is over, but the beef will never die. My favorite up, blessed for the watch along, you legend. One love, man. Too many villains win in life, man. Marcel's been a part of my language and fucking cunt the whole year. And then look, you got Mr. Newcastle. No everyone can win trophies. Some clubs just enjoy looking at history and competing. The game is the game. Look at these guys, man. It's calm, man. It's calm, man. I feel sorry for competent players who have sacrificed this season. Saliba, Raya, Rice, Partey. These guys deserve a trophy and they've waited 3 years now. I'd prefer a marquee signing like Gyokeres or Rodrigo, but if it's not feasible, at least buy ceiling raisers like Mbuemo, Leao. We need to increase our talent quota. Apparently, Vlahovic is back on the radar. Thoughts on that? I can't see how that's gonna bang though. Like, I could get it in, what was it, 2022, where we tried to get him in Jan and then we signed Jesus in the summer. I don't get it because I remember his comments where he was playing for Serbia. He's like, I think Thiago Motta was the Juventus manager. He was like, oh, the way the Serbian manager plays me is better because he doesn't make me do the defensive thing. Arteta loves that. So it's not going to bang here with that. And the running style. Obviously, all I want my striker to do is score goals, and Vlahovic has to be an option of sorts because God forbid. But if Gyokeres says, no, I don't want to sign. Sesko says, no, I don't want to come Arsenal. You've got to flirt with something. Again, you guys are greedy. How are we greedy? How are we greedy? We're starving, lad. How are we greedy? How are we greedy? If we had champs and all these things, and that's all good, that is great. But that's not it. And Arteta wouldn't be happy with that. And he could do all of that. It's just about getting over the line. All of us, cool. We can't keep waffling about the past. None of you care about Martin. All of you want a left winger. None of you give a flying monkeys what Donny did in 2022-23. None of you, some of us love TD. No one cares because, we're changing the system. Nobody cared about Aaron Ramsdale and how much he could have felt disheartened because David Raya was what was required. No one can. It's not that you can never forget the past. That fucking doesn't matter anymore. You've come out of the mud now. You are closer to getting over the line than you're not. You cannot move forward looking back. Forget all of that. It's loserish, man. Bro, no one could tell me Liverpool season was lucky, man. The people that want Arteta gone, do you trust the ownership to hire the correct manager for the job? Because I don't trust the ownership regardless. And to be fair with you, we could caveat that with, Arteta's here now. But there wasn't many people saying get Arteta, etc., etc. He had no CV. And I do think regardless of whoever is going to be the manager at this club, they're going to be killed by the ownership. That's why when I think it was feasible, early Emirates era, where I genuinely think there was a point we could have got Pep and we could have got Klopp. In hindsight, it would have been, obviously, Pep is the big Don Dada. He's done it all. Pep probably wouldn't have been the best option for us. It would have been Klopp because Klopp has shown a willingness to kind of work with what he is. Now, obviously, Klopp's a Liverpool legend, but could you forget, I was thinking about this the other day. If I was Klopp, I might be looking at FFG a bit funny, like, you weren't trying to buy me verts. You weren't trying to do this and that. Raya is the best keeper we've had in 20 years. It's Berta or dying up. Listen, my trust is with Berta. Arteta, go do your coaching thing. Players, rest up. Berta, please. Berta, anyone that's not on what you're on, beat them up, man. Everyone needs to sing from the same hymn sheet. Yeah, that's cool, man. We need a trophy, though, man. Like, we can sing all of that improve thing, but yeah, man. It's not just about the pitch. Arteta's made us believe again, have a connection with the club again. We were going to games, sing worth and shit to our own players. That's great. And I'm not disagreeing with that. Over the line business now. I agree with all of that. Over the line business now. See how we've made progress? Because people are talking about the past, right? At one point, you didn't believe that was feasible. We've made progress. Over the line thing now. Over the line thing now. The grass isn't always greener. We could sign a new manager and they stink up the place. They could be better. We could keep Arteta and we get over the line or not. My point being, everything has to be on the table. Arteta has to let go of control and let players' talent take over. He has quite the micromanaging. It's holding you back. I actually don't want him to lose that. Dial it a couple of percentages back. I don't want him to lose that because that's helped us get to a point. That's actually part of the problem. Fans actually think winning the Europa League or FA Cup is minor. The game's gone. Foxy, we speak about this all the time. You know how fans are. I always say for the players, it's different. There's no guarantee. Go and look at Will Hughes when Crystal Palace won. Or go and look at Son being at Spurs for 10 years. Or what, Liverpool, Trent in his last season as well. You look at the amount of active players that play in leagues year in, year out and all the competitions. Bro, there's bare footballers that are going to retire if they're lucky, being in finals, let alone silverware. And then when you look at our flipping players, bro, you lot are good enough to win some silverware. Why you haven't done it, I don't know, but it needs to change, man. DG, would you think about a change in formation? Not really, maybe pivot here and there, but I mean, if Arteta does it, he's gonna do it, innit? But I don't think we need a widespread thing. This window must be a boss window, not half measures. Talk is free. I could say anything, it ain't worth much. Could us in Mbuemo, and why? I'm not a gooner, but but appreciate that, man. You're either not so deluded or you're deluded to some, innit? I prefer Mbuemo. I like Kudus, man. He's versatile. I just think, I don't know why, but I just think Mbuemo makes sense. I look at the way Brentford press and all of their ethoses. I think there's intangibles at this club. Obviously, he plays for Cameroon, but the French ties, I mean, 20 goals in the Premier is going to alert me. And I'm just a fan, innit? I just fuck with Mbuemo, man. I think he's cold. I just think he would be good, man. Nico Williams is a big question if he is better than Martinelli. I think he is, but sometimes I watch Nico Williams, I think, yeah, you're the guy. Then I'm like, oh, you're not. I don't know how true, but there's even rumors he might need surgery in the summer. So obviously, if you buy him and he has surgery, where does, and you have surgery in the summer, pre-season, you're already set back. Where do we go from here with that one there? I don't know, man. But then again, it's not the same. But sometimes you have to take a chance. You look at the numerous players Liverpool signed. You look at actually Newcastle as well. Gomares was there. A couple people were gassing him. They went and done it. Isaac, fair enough, they spent big money, but people are and they had conviction. They went and done it. We either need to get those players that can have those kind of outbreaks and really do our due diligence in that, or you pay the going rate, whether these guys are worth it or not. We all see the stars we're linked within it. Obviously, we're not going to sign these players or maybe not sign any, but for argument's sake, if you want Isaac, you need to be talking 100+ million conservative, maybe even all the way up to 120. You know what comes with, 1.5 of them kind of guys. Even if you think Leao's worth it or not, you know what comes with it. You either scout them dons, pay the going rate, or you do neither. Because we've seen what other things do, man. We need a striker, man. And even like we could talk about Omri and all of those great forwards we've had, but then you look at the tier below, the Aubameyans, the Adebayors, these kind of ones. We need that, man. Need a proper forward. I'll be disappointed. And I must admit, who am I? I'm just nobody in the grand scheme of things, but seeing's believing now. Because it is like, yeah, just seeing's believing, man. Like, I'm tired of the talking now. Like, just show me. Just show me. And I extend that to everyone. Gyokeres is in the Salah category and leaving England after not getting a chance, refining their game abroad, and look how good they became. I just feel like there isn't that many strong attackers available that clearly improve our 11. I hear that, Ahmed, but we've said that for 3 years. We're just football fans. The club can't believe that. Go and find them. Footballers everywhere. We're linked with some players now that everybody wants that in the same positions, ironically, that probably no one was asking for last year. And in the next 12 months, there's going to be cams and wingers and strikers that not just Arsenal fans, everyone's going to be like, they're a bloody good player. They got to be somewhere. They've got to be somewhere. You lot make it happen, bro. That's why man are getting paid 15 million a year. That's why Dons are coming to this club with a reputation of 12 years at Atletico. You lot got the resources. Make it happen, bro. Make it happen. You can clearly identify talent. Like, obviously, Mudryk hasn't done anything. We can banter, etc. But bearing in mind, Martinelli had a great season. They were prepared to put the bag down for Mudryk. So you clearly, whether he's good or not, you know how to identify talent. Go and find them, man. And I'm being devil's advocate here. Are we really that good? Is our options in our squad really that good? And we're really that good that, fair enough, star names, all of that is one thing, but there's not players that can improve us, even to us common fans. I don't know. Greedy blood. Mad thing, innit? If you don't get a striker, would you take a wavy left winger? That's the only way around it. Big up Jack Wilshere for his work with the young players. He's actually left Norwich already, Arteta has not earned the right to be over. Oh, cut the track, people. Can hear my door. 1 second. We'll get back to that. 1 second, folks. I think I got a delivery. What bank holiday this is? The boots is here, people. The boots is all right. We turning up in a couple hours, man. Apologies, people. We're back though. We're back. Jen next door. Pick up my mods. What have you said? Arteta's not earned the right to be overruling Berta. Yes, he has rejuvenated the club, but he's not Arsene Wenger. My thing with Berta is Eddie made a lot of mistakes here, but it's like if we imagine a tree, you obviously got the cronkies at the top of it. You've got Arteta and Edu. You could say Arteta's there. You could say Edu's there with what we typically think. Let's just say they're quote unquote even, innit? Rightly so. I'd rather listen to Arteta than Edu, even though I think Arteta's fucked up at times. I think like if they both had conflicting opinions and they go to the top of the head with Cronky, I think 9 times out of 10, rightly or wrongly, Arteta gets his way. Like with Kai Havertz, where Edu's a dickhead is you've put big up Kai, but you've put Donny on some mad wages, spent a mad fee. Remember, we basically, you know, actually, I think Chelsea only lost 5 million with Kai Havertz. They bought him for 70, we bought him for 65. He won them the Champions League. They'll say, you know what, that was 5 million well spent. Pardon me, where I'm looking at it now, I need you see the same way that the club believe in Arteta, rightly or wrongly, they do in it. He's done a lot of bad, he's done a lot of good. Clearly, the Cronkies, we know how they work now, in it. I need them to believe in Berta as much as they believe in Arteta. So if there's any conflicting stuff, sometimes Arteta's got to win that battle. Sometimes Berta's got to win that battle. Like, I do think when you've got, I use these terms loosely, but when you do have a genius and an innovative manager, yeah, like Arteta or anyone, or even Wenger, because there's a correlation with David Dean leaving, Wenger doing too much madness, left to his own devices, really the only competent individual. Sometimes I think Arteta is going to need saving from himself. As I said, for me, this summer, everything's got to make sense. We need to get this squad what it needs, not what people want. But they're kind of the same. But you get the point, man. And I hope, but this is where we need Berta to do his thing. We need Berta to be that talismanic figure in the same way Arteta's quote unquote been one now. And all the people that we don't know, we got to remember, it's not just Berta, it's not just Arteta. There's, you know, for Arteta, there's an extension of your coaching teams. For Berta can't be everywhere. Let's just assume that he's tying up loose ends on Rafael, Gyokeres, Zubamendi, Garcia, some random player in Somalia just to paint a picture in it. Now, there's bare things we need to do. Berta can't be everywhere at every point. He can't be having dinner with Gyokeres and all of them things. And then in Spain at the same time, trying to get Nico Williams, trying to get the random player from Somalia. You know, Lokonga is wanted by some Saudi club. He can't be everywhere. You know, the teams need to do its jobs. There's people that probably have a big say that we walk past. And even with Berta, how much I think this summer is just a thing where he's got to be able to just pivot and either just get things over the line, sell some players and pivot, because the vast majority of the signings that most clubs are going to make are done. Now, he can probably push back and cancel plans and whatnot, but they're probably done. If we are to sign Zubamendi, the legwork's done. And now we found out Jason Ito's leaving, probably serving his gardening period. We're going to have to see. The last 5 years of Wenger, he got us 3 FA Cups. What are we doing here? That comment was deluded earlier from whoever said that about Wenger. Just Cronky must control Arteta's ego. I think Arteta's got to control it himself. I speaking for myself, managers are control freaks. Managers do have egos. Managers are stubborn. I've got no issues with that. But when life's a contradiction, as we all know, sometimes you got to be able to just be humble and, yo, this ain't working. Try something else. And I do think there's an element of complacency. I didn't say he wasn't ready for the big move. I'm just saying widespread for the most common football fan. Nobody was gassing it up. Nobody was like, oh my God, Mohamed Salah. My point, actually, you're backing up the point. You saw a player that was doing well, potential to, go to that level. Liverpool said, yeah, safe, bring him in, we're gone. If they waited and, I don't know, he went to another Premier League team and as I said, and he did all that Mo Salah stuff, we know the prices that's coming with it. That's my point. You either have the wits about you to find those players that are just about to break through and can help your club, or you wait for them to be them guys and you pay the fees, or you do neither, which leaves you with this. Right. Josh Kroenke has invested the money. What I want from him now is to end the power struggle between Arteta and the sporting director. I just want them to have equal footing. I want Berta to be able to push back on Arteta as much as Arteta can push back on him in that kind of stuff. Training every day, you're always going to carry some sort of injury or fatigues. Everybody needs help. Nah, if I'm honest, man. Pochettino Spurs didn't win anything. We're the same. But what about Martinez if Inter loses the final? I have a love-hate relationship with the Toro. I rate him, but are you good as a cold-hearted killer number 9 in your own right, or are you like you're a very good player, but you're more like you need a bit of a supporting cast, if that makes sense? Vlahovic, and I don't believe the Vlahovic ones personally, but yeah. The guy's upstairs statement the other day speaks volumes, in my opinion. I think Josh is taking away the control Arteta has. But it would be nice. I actually need Arteta to have a voice in recruitment and all of that, but bro, just do management stuff. Like, just you're the manager now. Like, you're not doing trying to do a bits and pieces of everything. Like, Berta, you regulate what you need to regulate. Arteta, regulate what you need to regulate. Obviously, you're gonna cross paths, mix and blends, but it feels like too many people are doing too much. And clearly, at the club, there's been, how do I make it make sense? People are vying for power. Because Edu, whether we rate Edu or not, clearly vying for power. Like, he either wanted to do things in one way and he was being overruled, or he was scheming on the very job Berta has. And is there any coincidence? Maybe he just got offered it, but he's effed off to the Nottingham Forest group now. He's doing his thing. Jason Ito, we heard he was in contention to be the sporting director. Experience one in Berta. He's cutting. There's that kind of thing. Remember, Arteta went from being a head coach to wherever. I don't believe any of the Arteta Berta disagreeing stuff. Most of the news that comes out about us is to wind up and divide the fan base, which is true. But I disagree in a sense of, you should be disagreeing, bro. You should be. You should be disagreeing. I'm sure Arteta disagrees with a lot of his coaching stuff. Pep Guardiola the same. Sir Alex Ferguson did the same. You can't agree all the time. This ain't no kumbaya thing. Like, disagree, bro. No, I want Gyokeres because of this. I want Sesko because of this. What's going on? Obviously, come to a consensus. I would take his voice away. Imagine going to a home game and you hear 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. I hear that, and he has to hold that. But then I'm sure I'm sure when we signed David Raya, none of the fans really wanted another keeper, and I'm sure internally at the club they were probably sitting there and saying, "Right, you sure you want to?" Ramsdale PFA doing his thing. We could put money elsewhere. Arteta clearly said, "Nah, I need my guy Raya." That one's worked out. Ben White, 50 million off the back of one season. That one's worked out. There's been a lot that's worked out. But the problem is now, since we've now got into this conversation where we want to get over the line and the margins for error are smaller and smaller, you have to keep going. I laugh at your fan base. Some people admitted they can't even look at your manager and captain's face. I mean, fair play. The people are allowed to do what they want in this life, man. Get all these Mikel bootlickers and disciples out of the club. But already kicked 2 of them out of the transfer team. Yeah, naturally there'll be disagreements between the manager and sporting director. There needs to be, bro. This ain't no kumbaya thing. This is football. This is high testosterone, high performance. You have to. There was disagreements at Liverpool. Are we all forgetting? Jurgen Klopp wanted Julian Brandt over Mohamed Salah. Now, Brandt could have signed for Liverpool and done the Salah thing, but it's fair to say that one worked out. You should be disagreeing. As long as you can present your evidence, you present your evidence. We have a conversation. Keep it moving. I think you can, but then I don't think anyone officially joins until July, give or take. Don't quote me, because you got the Club World Championship now, and this transfer window is a bit weird in that it opens and closes and opens and closes. There's even a World Cup year as well. That might boost certain players' prospects of leaving and joining one club and shut down another people. So who really knows in that regards, man? Smash the like button if you haven't. Let's go over some stuff, man. Now, we done the treble. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Arsenal in the Premier League for 2024-25. We played 38 games. We had 20 wins, 14 draws, and 4 losses, 74 points. We scored 69 goals. We conceded 34 goals, so that's a plus 35 goal difference, man. No one will spend money on Marquinhos. He actually started the game yesterday and was subbed off just after an hour for Balassi. At this point, is Marquinhos even a real player? I would rate Edu or whoever signed Marquinhos a lot more if they just say, yeah, you know what, that was brown envelopes. Because that would mean there was a purpose to that signing. That 3 million feels like a madness. Ramsdale should have stayed as second fiddle. We fumbled the bag. The man said he wanted to play, and he said, I'd rather get relegated if I'm playing all the time. And he got his wish, in it, really and truly. Now, Arsenal fans, if you want some more copium, the only time Arsenal have ever finished second in 3 consecutive seasons, they went on to win the league in the following year. Netflix FC, are we going to do it again? Well, hustlers don't stop. They keep going. Bleak stuff, man. Bleak stuff. Big up Newcastle, Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Liverpool for making the champs. Villa got zanged. Villa deserved to lose against United. Don't get twisted, but not in that fashion. Boy, and I don't care about no other club's bullshit with refs, because I'm not even one of them Arsenal fans that does all this ref thing. But when we do it, it's just sit down and shut up. So I don't care about no one else's misfortune, if I'm honest. I did want to ask you this as well, people. As this tweet says, with Arsenal's 2024-25 season now wrapped up, I want to know your player of the season, young player of the season, most improved player, unsung hero, disappointment of the season, performance of the season, goal of the season, and your season rating. Now, I hate when I do this because I put myself on the spot. I'll probably change, but player of the season, there's a couple. Gabriel Magalhaes, young player of the season. Big up Wanyeri, but it's clearly Miles Lewis-Skelly in it. Most improved player. See, the person I want to put as most improved player. Oh no, most improved player. I'm going to say Mikel Merino. Most improved player, because he had a tough start to life. Did your thing, and I got a lot of time for Merino, man. You was an Arsenal fan. You spoke about your dad scoring at the Bernabeu, and you did. Obviously, you're not a striker, but that's where your things come from. You was given a tough time, so you've improved. Unsung hero, I'm gonna say Kivio, because I've been on to you generally. Like, I've never thought you was a bad player, but I got a newfound respect for you. So I'm gonna say Kivio. Disappointment of the season. Now, for me, that feels like an open-end question, because does that mean like a game that's the disappointment of the season, or can something be the overlining factor? Disappointment of the season. Not winning the trophy. If I can answer it like that, I do that simple. Like, just not winning the trophy, innit? That was the goal. It's another year it's gone missing, innit? Like, disappointment of the season. Performance of the season. Real Madrid, innit? Real Madrid at home or Man City at home. Goal of the season. It's got to be Declan Rice's free kicks, in it. Probably even Declan Rice's second free kick against Madrid. For me, though, it's probably the less glamorous one. I'd say Magalhaes against Spurs. It just felt like there was something in the air the way he was celebrating. Season rating, for me, it's a 4. It's a 4. The players showed me a bit of adversity. We did get to some semi-finals, but we didn't get over the line. We shot ourselves in the foot. I don't feel we've evolved, and ultimately, I feel we've harmed ourselves, if I'm honest with you, man. It was nice to see Declan Rice captain us yesterday as well. Is that a glimpse into the future? Hey, I promise you, lot, clip this. I'm not saying Martin Odegaard don't deserve criticism, etc. Yeah, but people, if you're part of Odegaard Hive and we was in a castle, raise the walls. Nobody's back in. When Odegaard is back, nobody bread. We're coming back, my Achilles. You're soft, but you're my guy, man. Arsenal have always been shy. So why didn't you beat us the other night? Tell Laporte, come get his shit back, brother. It's calm though. It's calm. We took your gal as well. She won the league, the Champions League for you two times in a row. She came over these sides. Look how Laporte was talking smoky. Barca, champions of Europe. You never sing that. Should have played Messi. Would have got away with that one. It's all entertainment. You do foolishness, I do foolishness, man. But yeah, I don't even know why these are here. Big up David Raya, because he's already got his second consecutive Golden Glove, and the man has come out and said, I want to get free. I actually think you've been deserving of more clean sheets this season. And it's weird hearing David Raya speak, because he sounds mad Spanish, but then he sounds like a geezer. I go all the time in the world for him. So yeah, big up yourself, man. At least someone's walking with something. There is only one Kieran Tierney, and he did score yesterday. 100 appearances for the club. Tierney, all the best, my brother. All the best. Now, Calafiori, why weren't you there? He's missed 100 days and he's been out for 5 spells. Now, again, about putting our players through the war and players being rushed back and things, yeah? What do you lot make of this? We pushed Ricky a lot to make sure he was fit for the last few games, and he was 2-3 weeks ahead of schedule in his injury. He's been constantly dragged into areas where he was really, really stretched and he wasn't comfortable the last week or two with a lot of things. Yes, in brackets, Calafiori and Timber wanted to carry on, but we decided to give him, in brackets, Calafiori a break. He needs rest. He now needs to make sure he has a proper preparation, a clear preseason to give him the best chance to have a successful season next season. I feel sorry for the players, man. Do you know how many pictures I've seen with you lot with in a hospital bed doing that? People are coming back ahead of schedule. It is what it is. Raya sounds like Bellerin. Nah, he sounds a lot more mature. Yeah. Here's one game. It's a final, man. Oh, you're not used to anything. Oh, come get your Champions League back, brother. Just type that without crying, bro. Type that without crying on the big internet, man. Odegaard has been such a letdown. The whole system is based around him. Sterling was a disappointment. He made all that noise. Yeah, he was. Yeah, nah, without a doubt. If you're talking a player, worst signing of the season, unfortunately, it's the Gaza man, bro. The best thing is he's got to go back to Chelsea, is it? Player of the season, Gabriel. Young player, Miles Lewis Skelly. Goal of the season, Rice's second free kick. Most improved Timber out of all of last season and performed at a high level almost every game this season. I hear that. Fair play. 4 does seem low, but everyone is saying City has had a horrendous season, but they're only 3 points behind us. I think 4, bro. I can't say 5. Fair enough, you maintained, but I think 4. And I'm on because I just think we had a lot more to give. I rate you lot. I'm not, you lot know me. I don't come in saying we're the best and whatnot, but I rate my team, you know. I really rate them. And I feel you let yourselves down. I think it's a 4, man. I don't want to say that, but I genuinely think it's a 4. I genuinely think that. Cool, it's calm, like semi-finals. The only positive for me, I would say, is I learned a lot about the players. You lot can respond to adversity. That's about it. Odegaard for disappointment. Right. Odegaard for disappointment ahead of Raheem Sterling. It's crazy. Odegaard, Skelly, Miles Lewis Skelly. Odegaard player that disappointed me. To be fair, no one really expected much from Sterling, didn't it? Odegaard. Unsung hero is Marino. Most improved is Kivio. I hear that. Big up Kivio, man. I personally think you're gonna leave, but yeah, man. I got a newfound respect for you, man. Ramsdale will move again this summer. Leeds. Pardon me, I think we get 50 odd million quid for finishing second. If we got some money from Gyokeres moves to Monaco, we're gonna get some change from Tavares and any other outgoings. Ramsdale, we must have a sell-on clause there. There must be a couple other players. Every little helps, man. I hate the fact Chelsea are in the Champions League, spending £500 million and celebrating like top 4's a trophy. I keep telling man Wenger's an innovator. Cut the chat. You lot are taking the piss though, mate. 86 likes. If you've hit the like button, appreciate that. But you lot are buying it, man. You lot are buying it. DJ, if Arteta allows the attacking players to express themselves and have freedom, it gives us a better chance of success. Where we're not the best defense in the league in terms of goals conceded. I hear that, but goals win games, man. There's got to be some sort of elevation. No doubt, most improved is Jacob. I'd give Tavares another chance. I can't lie. For what? For what? Unless you're going to be the black Kieran Tierney, where we're going to play you left wing. For what? He's gone anyways. For what? There's no. Tavares. There's nothing Tavares can help us with, bro. Tavares can't help us with nothing, man. Honest opinion, Odegaard needs to play more centrally. This right wide central midfielder position doesn't really do much for him. This is why Tommy got injured, always rushing players back. This coach and medical team needs sacking and fines. 150 million for Havertz, Calamari, and Marino is a massive sting. Imagine what we could get with that now. Bologna gave us Tommy and Calafiori, 2 injury-prone defenders who on their day are good. We must rotate next season and protect these players. Everyone who's had injuries has played so much football, no coincidence. My device would have been blasted with that many tabs open. Well, we don't make excuses. Trust the process. Good thing my thing works in it. Arteta did serve a touchline ban against Southampton, and it was nice to see you with Kroenke. I hope everyone's talking about signings. My guy, in Berta, we trust. Serious man. Absolute serious man. Are you going to freeze, or are we going to be able to see what this tab is? Tab police, as I always say, look away. Ornstein has said Arsenal have a decision to make between Benjamin Sesko and Gyokeres. I do expect one of them possibly to come in this summer. There's loads more to do at Arsenal as well. They'll try to renew the contract of Thomas Partey. No outcome on that yet. Maybe a defender too, because they missed out on Howson, a second choice keeper as well. Did we learn anything there? Probably not. What else have we got here? On next season, now immediately turn tomorrow. We have certain things we are discussing and making decisions. When I start to think about it, I feel goosebumps and excitement. I hope we can all feel goosebumps and excitement. He said, Mikel Arteta says Arsenal do not need to make much progress to win titles next season. Josh Kroenke has been very clear in the direction and ambition we have. We're going to try and see what we can do, make very subtle decisions, and respect what has taken us this far. There's not much improvement. We finished second 3 times, reached the Champions League semi-finals. There's that little percentage we need to know, which I agree. But I do think with Arteta, I don't feel that's the language you're saying internally. I don't think Arteta is someone that rests on his laurels, and I think this sounds like a bit of complacency. I don't think he's saying that internally, but yeah. We're delighted we have our sporting director, Andrea, who will play an important role in this. He's part of a unified and strong team supported by the board who are crystal clear on exactly what we need to do and the way in which we want to do it the right way, the Arsenal way. I hope so, bro. I hope so, man. Because it was before my time, but I was watching videos today of when Arsenal won the league at Liverpool. My time was seeing, having to make changes and not start Thierry Henry and win the league at Old Trafford. Football's changed a lot since then, but in terms of squad and believing in certain man, it hasn't, people. Arsenal are currently focused on Benjamin Sesko, 21 years of age, and Victor Gyokeres, 26, as we've already gone over. Any potential Man United move to sign Gyokeres is now practically off the table. They're about to get Cunha. Mental, bro. ATGA in 57 games. Yeah, you can do the always Portuguese league, cool, but and all of that's right, and there probably is an exchange rate, but at the end of the day, is there not 11 players out there? Is the pitch not the same, brother? That's mad. 17 assists, 63 goals in 80 games. And I don't know about last season, but it weren't like this. But he had mad stats last season. Apparently, he will leave this summer. The 26-year-old is linked with Arsenal and Chelsea and has an agreement to allow him to leave for less than his 84 million release clause, people. Apparently, Romano said he will play his last game, which he did, and they won the cup. And he will leave for 65 million euros. Now, I could be wrong, but we just saw 85 million pounds. Now we're seeing 65 million euros. So what is that? About 58? I don't know, people. On his future, after winning the domestic double in Portugal, I don't know anything else. I tried to focus on the last few games. If something is true, we'll see. 54 goals and 13 assists in 52 games. Another stunning season, and he's available for 55 to 60 million. So we're seeing a lot of different things, but to get me my striker, wouldn't he be cheaper than this man here, Gyokeres, who allegedly Sesko, who apparently Berters had direct contact with his counterpart at Leipzig around a potential deal. Apparently Arteta and the hierarchy are big fans of Mr. Sesko. We finished, well, if you would load, I'd be able to read it. Arsenal finished the league campaign without a single player scoring 10 or more goals for the first time since 1923, 1924. Not even in a circle. Big him up was born then. Obviously, these two men were injured. I think Kai's on 9, but it shows you we need to invest in that front line. And then you look over, not really our neighbours, but our neighbours in London, in Brentford. But you know what? Big up Brentford, because we're two of the only teams that ain't got no silver in London. 20 goals, man. Come on, man. We need him. 20 goals, 7 assists, bringing him to the carpet, man. Silly season. Arsenal apparently would consider a move for Aston Villa goalkeeper Martinez to return to the club amid interest from Real Madrid and David Raya. David Raya going to join Real Madrid this summer in a World Cup year where you got Courtois. I hear that. Nico Williams to reject summer transfer. He's wanted by both Arsenal and Chelsea. Valverde has hinted he could snub interest from England. Now, the manager is going to say that, whether he does move or not. We'll assume he'll be with us next year. We want that to be the case. There's always rumors about players. You know how it is. We're happy with Nico, and Nico is very happy with us. We hope next year is a great year for Nico and that he does it here. Fair enough. And as well as Nico Williams, we're also linked with Rodrigo of Real Madrid, Mitoma from Brighton, Ademola Lookman, as well as Dortmund's Jamie Gittins, people. So we'll have to see really and truly exactly what's going on in that regards, man. What else have we got? Vlahovic is expected to leave Juventus this summer and could end up in the Premier League. Arsenal and Chelsea have both been informed the deal would cost 42 million. Would you go for him or not, people? I think I know the answer in the chat. Arsenal want to sign 2 forwards this summer, a wide player and a striker. Sources have confirmed to TBR Football that new deals for Leandro Trossard and Martinelli would not impact those plans. We have seen that apparently Berta has had some level of communication with Rafa Leao. Rafa Leao has moved AC Milan out of his Instagram bio. I know football's mad, you know. I'm only 30, but I remember I never used to know about transfers until you saw it on teletext or in a newspaper. Now people are looking on Instagram accounts, tracking planes and all of these mad things. But yeah, he's done that on Instagram. Apparently Berta has spoken to Leao on the phone in recent days as the Gunners consider a possible move for the Leao winger. You like having Rafa Leao? I can't say I believe that. We tried to sell Gabriel Jesus this summer. Obviously, his injury makes it quite hard to flog somebody that's on 265 grand a week. We have been linked with Ademola Lookman. Apparently, I've covered this in the previous vid, but apparently he's not our first choice. But Arsenal are still admirers of his. Apparently, there's growing optimism. Partey will sign a new contract to remain at Arsenal next season. On paper, he's still cutting. Although Besiktas, which makes a difference, from Saudi links, Juventus links, Atletico Madrid, even Barcelona links. Apparently, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has held a positive meeting over a summer deal for Thomas Partey, according to reports in Turkey. Do you believe that? Really? And I promise you, I haven't read this before, but, you know, maybe I could be a journalist because they said the same thing there. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that one goes. Arsenal have been linked with Morgan Gibbs-White, and apparently we're ready to fight Manchester City for a signature. That's going to cost top whack, ain't it, people? We're still linked with Julian Alvarez. I can't say I believe this. He's linked with Barcelona. I wanted Julian Alvarez last summer. Why would he leave sunny Spain for us? I don't believe it. We have been linked with Matoma. The 28-year-old has 2 years left on his deal. I wonder how much he would cost. We've been linked with Garnacho, safe. Or better yet, his reps have offered his services to Arsenal. And they're saying 60 million. Arteta will end up beating you up and your brother. You do too much chatting and westing. Safe. Apparently, Eze is unlikely to pull a U-turn on leaving Crystal Palace. He's been linked, well, another London team like Spurs who have won stuff. He's been linked with Spurs. Don't do it, Eze. 68 million. Come on, better, man. Bring me Eze and Mbuemo Gyokeres, man. Romano has spoken about Garcia, and he said Barcelona's initial plan for Garcia would be to sign the goalkeeper from Espanyol for 25 million euros and loan him to another club. He's also been linked with Valencia. There are more clubs in the race. No decision has been made at this stage. All open. Players' decision will also be key, people. Bayern Munich are apparently interested in Leao and Mitoma, so we might face a fight for those two. Barca have offered Garcia the chance to sign him and loan him out to Valencia, and apparently the player accepts it. Aren't Espanyol and Barcelona rivals? I don't know, man. Arsenal, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Leverkusen, and Napoli are all interested in Garcia as well as Barcelona. Leverkusen, who have got Eric Ten Hag as their gaffer now. He's not been called up by the Spain squad, which means his release clause will not rise. We will stay at 25 million. So you need to play regular football. Unless you're going to take Raya's spot, you're not going to get in the Spain squad. Apparently, Espanyol's director has made it clear Garcia was gutted after his side rejected Arsenal's bid last summer. 24-year-old, but you're going to get a move. If you get rejected in that and you end up at Barca or one of them, it's all right. It was with La Liga just underway and 3 days away from the deadline. The look on his face during that conversation almost made me feel sorry for him. I saw him as if he were my son. He was told the time would come and it will, which going somewhere else. There are certain amounts that teams interested in him have to accept. That's going to have to be the case given his level. There will be many clubs considering doing so. This is going to take time. I don't doubt that this guy's telling the truth, but think about it logically. You're going to act like there's more interest than there might be. You're going to talk up the things. It's going to be the clause, but the argument is very simple. The player's value, the player is worth it. If he had a higher clause, he'd also have that value. If we look at the transfers that have taken place with goalkeepers of our level, they've paid that much and more. To be fair, when you see what United spent for Onana, fair play. We have to consider things other than that. It's not asking for more than he's worth, but the opposite. For me, the kid has exceptional value and also resale value. Juventus apparently are ahead of Arsenal to sign Ademola Lookman, who is set to leave Atalanta this summer, people. Fair enough. Fair enough. I would not say no to him. We get 53.5 million quid for finishing second. Liverpool get 56.4. How much do you get for getting relegated? Fuck, you know, it dropped, in it. Bloody hell, lad. Damn. I swear, what? So these lot get this and parachute money, or does this count as the parachute money? I don't know. What, there's peas in the Premier. So yeah, we're in the race for Mitoma. We've gone over that. We've definitely gone over the Emi Martinez. Liverpool apparently the front runners for Hugo Ekitike, who apparently Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool are all fighting for. People. He'll cost from 80 to 100 million euros. Draw whatever conclusions you feel like drawing. We've been linked with Rafa Leao, people. I don't really believe it. I really don't. He's got a release clause of 100 million. So what's that, 90 odd? We know we're not getting Isaac. Newcastle got Champions League, so why waste you lot's time? Again, Garcia is still linked with several other clubs like us, and at this moment we're going to be saying the same things again and again and again. We went over that already. Please tell me there's something new where Arsenal are concerned. Come on, man. Tell me Lionel Messi is on joining us. Big up the galley for the parade as well. Don't appear that there's anything new there, innit? Really? Get Joe Bellingham. To be fair, does he stay at Sunderland or play in the Prem, or does he move abroad? He's actually been linked with Frankfurt, I believe. Atalanta hit the jackpot selling Lookman. They spent pennies on him. That's what they do, bro. That's what the foreign teams do. Has anyone seen, I think his first name is Alejandro Rodriguez. He's an English lad. I think he was at Southampton. He's gone to Lyon, playing quite well in the under-17s Euros. We all know Lyon got him. He's 17 or something like that. So maybe not so much now, but he's getting sold back to these shores. That's what they're going to do. Would be good to see as they stay with Palace and win Europa. It would, to be fair. It would. I'd get Mitoma for around 40 million to replace Trossard and leave Trossard as an impact sub. Thomas sometimes runs like he's got arthritis in his knees. We should give him a 2-year deal and sell him next summer for a quick 15, 20. Who's going to do that? Eze would be a game changer. Go get him, Andrea. If Arsenal don't get Gyokeres, they're not serious. The time for potential is over. Some of these links are very bogus. My dad from Celtic. I can't lie, Graham. I don't rate his thing, you know. Yeah, on this day, meaty, man. I don't want to hear on that. I don't need on the day. I need people that are on this all the time. Vlahovic needs to stay at Juventus. Why would we get him? Why would we get between him and his dream club? It's Dealer's good, but it seems like he's getting Real Madrid. If you see their celebrations, another one, Stuttgart, you're the underdogs. Getting Mbuemo, he can play across the front line. DG, tried not to laugh when you saw Vlahovic or however you spelled it. I can't lie. I see Sesko highlights this morning. He's a good bit of grub. If we re-sign Martinez, I'm certain we've already signed Gyokeres TBA this week. I hope so. They doubted Suarez after scoring 50 goals in Eredivisie. He went to Liverpool and burned the EPL down, get Gyokeres, and then somehow got better when he left Liverpool. Do you think we would have been better with Nketiah playing a 9 this season? I actually think Nketiah could have helped us, but probably not. It's just shit versus garbage. Bologna, better underdog. Spurs won, Palace won, Newcastle won, Stuttgart won, Go Eagles won, Arsenal women's won. Get me, we're here. And there's a next one. I want an explosive winger, man. I want an explosive winger because I just think it strikes fear into fullbacks, man. 4 is too low. You are chucking your toys out the pram. Can only come one place higher. Season was a 6. And if you think the season was a 6, great. I'm looking at how good I think we can be. I think it was a 4. You are right. It's only one place that you could be where we're second, which has been a constant. That was the objective. We missed that. Big up for the semi-finals. I think we shat the bed in the 2 against Newcastle. I think, you know, we did well against Real Madrid. Ultimately, we didn't do what needs to be done against PSG. It gave food for thought. It's another year of Champions League progress. Fundamentally, it's not winning it. And that became the one shining light. Never happened. FA Cup was a shit show against Man United. I praise the players for the adversity. I don't think it's a collective group of players. There's a single aspect I think we're better at. I don't feel the managers evolved. I feel the club didn't help Mikel Arteta and the players in January. I feel everybody shat the bed in the summer. I think it's a 4. I think it's a 4. You can call it a 6 if you want. In Berta, we trust. That's the only... And Berta might make it a 6, to be fair. Big up Berta. In Berta, we trust. That's the only positive for me. Lost all trust in the Cronkies and the manager for next season. Hopefully, they can win it back. I would loan Wanyeri for a year at least. Nah, G. Wanyeri, you need to stay, bro. I liked Wanyeri at left 8 yesterday. He does need to develop physically, but he looks more like his youth team self. He'll be all right. And yeah, Lazio are going to get Tavares. We don't need... There's nothing Tavares can help us with, bro. Yo, DG, you think we'll ever be serious club? Liverpool moving mad. The club needs to show us now, bro. Cunha to Man U. Vert's likely to go to Liverpool. We've been linked with Zubi for months and still no announcement. Trust. DG, Sesko has 13 goals in Bundesliga. Fans still haunted that we didn't get Isaac in Sociedad. Now fans are trying to predict a success story before it even happens in Sesko without proof. A solid 80 to 90% of our transfer links are bogus. I hear it. I mentioned Rodriguez the other day. He can represent England, Portugal, and Venezuela. Crazy. And we will only believe Don's sign for our club when we see them in kits, man. DG, who is your player of the season for us? There's a couple, man. I'm going to give it Magalhaes, man. But a part of me wants to say Magalhaes. A part of me actually wants to say David Raya. A part of me wants to say Timber. A part of me wants to just give it to Lewis Skelly. A part of me wants to give it to Declan Rice. I actually think Partey has a shout as well in terms of consistency throughout a season. I'm going to say Magalhaes, man. What do we need other than a winger and a striker, though? Depth. Centre mid, man. If it was up to me, 2 central midfielders. In an ideal world where money weren't a thing, 2 strikers, a winger, 2 central midfielders, an 8 and a 6. If there's a couple more quid about, maybe even another, like a 10 or someone that could play there. Clearly need a couple defensive. We obviously need goalies, but I don't know how Arteta and the club are going to play. Are you going to go for a left back or a right back? Or are you going to go for a centre half that can play left back? Or are you going to go for a centre half that can play right back? Or are you going to get another Timber, Tomiyasu kind of Swiss Army knife? I think it's a no-brainer as well. I'd love that Moscato done, but bro, once Madrid probably all over that. That would be lit. I feel like doing a video on him for no reason. It'd be lit, man. But people, I want you lot to enjoy your bank holiday, man. I don't want you lot to be stressed about Arsenal. Again, whether it's off-season, during season, or pre-season, we're out here. There's vids upon vids. The transfer segment will get cut up for you lot. You lot smash the like button. Appreciative to having you lot locked in. And what can I say other than thank you for your support, man? And if we're looking for players that can go us up the levels, and we need people on the left-hand side.
Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
I think